Hello everyone, welcome to Programming Quiz. Today we are going to do a very interesting integration with React. So what we will do is we will integrate any non-React related JavaScript library into a React project, and we will try to do it the React way. And I think that's the idea, and let's get started. What I'm going to do is I think I will integrate Chart.js, although Chart.js has a React based library already provided, but I think just for the purpose of learning and understanding concepts of how you can integrate any non-React related JavaScript library into a React project. So it's a good exercise. So let's get started. Right. I have created an empty project directory, and from there we will start to do our project initiation, and then we will move forward. So the first step is to create an empty project. So for creating an empty React project, I generally use Vite because it's a really quick um, step of setting up a new project to test out any of your React related tasks that you are going to do. So here we will do a very quick initiation of a new project. So what we will do is, let's open our terminal here. So first of all, you need to have a global installation of Vite. That's important because then we'll be able to create any projects. So we will use Vite latest command here. And for project name, since that we want to create it in our default directory, so we'll just put a dot here, and then we will select React. And for the purpose of this video, we will just do JavaScript. Our new project has been scaffolded, so let's just quickly create or install our dependencies. So once these dependencies are installed and we will be able to run our default project, then we will start doing our main task, which is to integrate Chart.js library. So let's quickly check if everything is working fine. So we will copy this URL, we will put it in our browser and see. Right, so we can see our project is running fine. So let's come back here. Now, what we want to do is we will install Chart.js library. So we will temporarily stop our project and we will install chart.js. Now, I think it's a good idea to just open our Chart.js. Right. So let's get started. So I think first thing we have to do is we have to install our library that we have already done. Now let's get back to our project. So what we're going to do is we will create a wrapper class for initializing this chart.js object so that we can provide it with the data for the graph and also the option settings for it. So let's get started here. So our chart.js library is installed. Now let's get back to our project. So just very basic setup. So we'll create a components directory here, and inside that we will create a file called chart wrapper.js. And in this file, what we need to do is we need to import chart. It's a good idea to just open our documentation and to get some ideas. So we can just quickly copy these from there. So it's relatively quicker to do. I think should be capital case. Yes, so we've created a default class and exported it as well. So let's just try to, first of all, return what we need to do. We need to return a canvas, an empty canvas. Now, we need to add a ref for this so that we can listen to the events that are occurring on the canvas. So React refs are really important when you're going to integrate any of the non-React related libraries, or if you want to perform any of the non-React related actions directly on the DOM. So it's important that React understands when something happens outside of the React ecosystem into the DOM. So this is really important. Now, refs provide us a placeholder from where we can see if something has changed in the DOM. And since Chart.js library is going to perform some changes on the DOM directly, that all those changes we need to understand or read in our React component so that we can perform any uh, tasks, or we can run any code based on those events. Let's just create a ref and let's just initialize it with null. And by the way, we should also include use ref from React as well. Right. Um, Now let's use the use effect so that we can run our code and initialize our library. I'll just put a comment here so that we understand what's happening here. Right. First of all, we have included the library. Now, what do we need to do? So we need to initialize our chart object, and we need some parameters, and we need context. Now we will just need to understand how we can get context here. Yeah, so this is the get context function. Right. Or let's call it ctx is equal to, so from the chart rep we need to get the context, and it's a 2D, going to be 2D graph. So we have added the context. By the way, we need to add the ref here as well. Right. So context has been added. Um, Now we should initialize our chart here. Let's call it my chart. All right. We need to provide context, and we needed to provide type data and options. So let's just do that. Type can be bar chart for now, data and options. So these two we can pass as props. That way we can control the chart from outside of this component. So this will be a generic component, can handle different types. Data and options, they have been passed as a props, and they have been, by the way, we also need to do unmounting as well. This is important, especially when we have this external library code. So we will just do my chart of destroy. You can check these functions in the Chart.js documentation as well. So you'll be able to know that how you will destroy the chart. So one more thing, we just don't want it when the component mounts, but we also want to reload or reinitialize the chart whenever data changes or the options settings are changed. So I think that our chart wrapper class is ready, and I think at this point we can just use this chart wrapper class in our code. So let's just try to do that. First of all, let's just import our chart wrapper, and I think we should try to clean up this. Right. So first of all, we need to have chart data, and if we can find it here, if we go to bar chart, we should be able to get data different. So we have defined chart data. I think I've missed the label. So we have labels, we have data set. Yeah. And let's also define chart options as well. And let's just put a very basic style so we know that these options are working. Right. Um, so we'll create an H1. So it's a React.js integration. We will include the chart wrapper here. And what we need to pass data, that should be chart data. Options, that should be chart options. Right. I'm sure there will be some problems, but let's just quickly see if our project runs. Definitely not. Let's just quickly see what's the issue, and then we can fix it. Right. I think something with the utils. Let's just create our own data. That would be better. So let's just put the labels as an array and let's just call it red, blue, green, or RGB, red, green, blue. And the data should be just three values: background color in three values, border as well. Hopefully this would help. So we've made something with the chart options. Sorry, we didn't put fonts here. Right. So we can see our chart here. Now that's nicely working as expected. Now to create the custom hook, let's go back to our components. In fact, let's create a folder called hook and let's create a custom hook called use chart.js. Now again, most of the code would be similar, so we will just copy that here. We will make some changes to make it a hook and then we will go from here. So let's just call it use chart and the parameters would be same. In fact, let's add the type of the chart here as well. Use effect type would be type or bar if there's no type provided. And what we need to do is, so we have to add type here as well. And we should also click here as well. And instead of returning the canvas, we need to return the reference to the chart. And this would be use chart. So we are able to create a custom hook for this. Now let's try to integrate that and use it in our app. So we created a chart wrapper. I guess we can create a component just to show that we can use our hook more than one ways to create different kinds of graphs using just one file or one hook that we created. Um, Again, we will import use ref. We will import use chart and let's just create this component, chart component. Then we need to pass these and we will return the default export. And here all we need to do is use our custom hook and pass all the parameters to the custom hook and return our canvas as we did with our wrapper class. Right, looks good. Let's go to our app. Let's import chart component, and I think everything else should remain same. And instead of chart wrapper, just let's call it chart component. Need to pass type. Let's just put it bar. Here the type would be, let's just put a line, so we get two different kinds of charts to see if our hook works dynamically with both of the charts. One thing, just to test out, we can create two different handlers. Handle on bar click, let's say, and let's just have another one which is handle on line click. So we will just say here line, and this will be handle on bar click, this will be handle on line click. I think we've tried to make it work. Let's see. Right, so we have the bar chart and we have the line chart. Let's try to click. So it says we've clicked on the bar with label red, and let's try to click here. We clicked on the line with label red, so it's working as intended. Right, let's just go back to our code, just quickly recap what we have done. First of all, we created a chart wrapper class. In the chart wrapper class, we included Chart.js. From our Chart.js JavaScript library, we got the context, and using the context, we initialized our chart. Once we initialized our chart, we have different parameters or props for the settings of the chart using, for example, type, data, options. And then based on that, we've initialized our chart, and then we've put the ref in our canvas. And now if we go back to our hook, it's pretty similar. Everything is same, but we are just returning our chart ref from our hook. And then in the app.js, we have used our chart component, which is using hook to create multiple charts in our app.js file. And in here, we have two instances of chart initialized, one with bar and one with line. Both of them have different events handlers, and they are able to successfully listen to the changes that are happening within the charts. Right. I think that was it. I hope you liked the video. And if you have liked the video, please share, subscribe, and let me know your suggestions. If you have any questions related to it, and if I've made any mistakes, feel free to let me know, and I'll try to learn and improve as well. Thanks a lot, everyone. See you in the next video. Bye.